Hello, and thank you so much for tuning in with me today. Your company and your lovely warm comments are very much appreciated. So thank you. Thank you for those. Well, we have Mercury and Mars retrograde, and we have a lot of emphasis on the mutable signs. That is the more flexible of the signs, in particular Gemini and Sagittarius at the moment. The Gemini full moon will occur at 23:52 of Gemini, so that's almost 24 degrees. It happens on the 15th of December, and in the UK, that will be just shortly after 9 a.m. in the morning. Now, I think it's quite exciting because people talk, don't they, about an upgrade in human consciousness. And in many ways, I think this this full moon, I should say, I think this full moon is very much the launching of the process of retuning and upgrading our thinking. So, a lot of what is coming into fruition now at this full moon, because full moons are harvest points, they're culminations, they're shedding points. A lot of what's coming to a head now began with the Gemini new moon way back in June in 24, June the 6th, I think it was. And so we're seeing those energies ripen. I hope we're not enemies. Seeing those energies ripen now. Gemini is a dual sign, and also a sign very associated with the mind, with communication, thinking, speech, language, but very much with thought and how we order our thinking. But as I said, it's very dual. Its myth is that of Castor and Pollux, the twins who love each other dearly but become separated. Just as, if you like, the two hemispheres of our brain are separated. And this can lead to divisions and splits in our thinking. This chart is full of opposites and polarities, so let's discuss a few of those. So to begin with, the sun and the moon opposite at a full moon. So we have the sun in Sagittarius opposite the moon in Gemini. And that's the sun, divine masculine principle, opposite moon, divine feminine principle. In addition, Mars and Venus are opposite. So again, a repetition of this opposite of divine feminine, divine masculine, echoed again by the fact that the lunar nodes here are playing into the chart as well, and they're opposite in Aries and Libra. And also forming an opposition, we have Chiron in Aries and Black Moon Lilith in Libra. So this message, if you like, of divisions, particularly between the divine masculine, the divine feminine, if you like, the left and right hemispheres of the brain, is really flagged up at this full moon. In this brilliant book, The Master and His Emissary by Ian McGilchrist, he argues that we have elevated the left brain, which actually should be the servant, the master, the servant to the master, which is the intuitive, instinctual, creative right brain. And he says our society has elevated the left brain, way out of proportion to its function, which should be to help us function every day in daily life, not to take over the show as it has. And I think there's a signature showing this in the chart, which is that Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, where the full moon is in Sagittarius, close to the sun, And Mercury in Sagittarius is being invited there to see the holistic picture, if you like, the deeper truths, the more whole picture, not the fragmented parts, which can be the province of Mercury. Without getting too complicated, there's some mutual reception going on because Mercury is in Sagittarius, but also Jupiter, which rules Sagittarius, is in Gemini. So they're in each other's signs. And Jupiter in Gemini is close to the moon, it's conjunct the moon. And that too is calling for the bigger picture. It's calling for the whole. It's persuading Mercury, or impressing upon Gemini, rather, impressing upon Gemini this urgency to see the bigger picture, to tune into the whole, to the bigger message, not be swamped in the daily detail, which can be an issue there. So it's, don't not see the truth for the detail. We must see the truth, the deeper, right-brained truths that are evident, if you like. I'd like to bring in the tarot here. Now, in the tarot, this mental splitting and division is very well shown by the journey from the card The Lovers, which is very associated with the sign of Gemini, the twins, to its sister card, the Devil, where we can see the same pair of people there in a much darker situation. Now, what this speaks to is the fact that, one of the ways we can interpret it as speaking to is the fact that when we make choices, when we categorize, choose one thing over another, differentiate, split, as we must with the mind, we choose one thing and not another. And that other thing can be cast into darkness. We can disown parts of our own selves and put them into darkness. So anything that the rational mind doesn't want to accept, it can put into the subconscious mind. And then we're in the realm of the devil, and we're in the realm of projections, of how we might project those unclaimed parts of ourselves onto others. How we can other things and out things, and be in opposition and play games of shadow casting. So I think the planets are really lined up at the moment to help us start healing these splits and divisions between aspects of our mind, and to reach this upgrade in consciousness. It may take time, but I'd like to bring in here the Oort cloud object, Sedna. It's a very, very slow moving body, and it has just inched minutely into the sign of Gemini. Now, let me just recap ever so quickly the myth of Sedna, because it's important here. It plays into this theme. Sedna is an Inuit goddess. Now, Sedna was trying to escape her cruel husband, the raven god, and go back to her family. And she's in her father's canoe. But the raven god creates a storm. And in order to save himself in the turbulent waters, her father, who is paddling the canoe, throws his daughter overboard. And not only that, when she clings to the canoe to try desperately to get back inside, he chops off her fingers, and she falls down into the icy waters, the icy Arctic waters. Now, this is very like the left brain, to survive, to keep its little boat of rationality afloat, hacking off, dismembering aspects of the bigger brain which it doesn't want to accept, and consigning them to the depths, which would be the subconscious mind. Now, Sedna is going to be moving through the sign of Gemini until 2067. And in that time, she's going to be bringing up into the light those things from the deep, the highly creative things. Sedna down in the depths created an array of wonderful marine life. So this is a huge creativity coming back into our minds if we can integrate it. So our thinking underpins everything. And we're due now, we really need now a retune. Our radios, if you like, really need to be retuned to a different frequency. And it seems with all of the air energy that we'll be moving into and the fire energy, the fact that Pluto has gone into Aquarius, which is all about waves of energy, that this upgrade in our thinking, this process is definitely underway, and that there will be a metamorphosis. And as we change the way we think, as we bring our thinking into a more holistic and loving whole, that we will change, the world will change. As that changes, the world will change. Nothing is, but thinking makes it so. With Chiron in Aries, there's a masculine principle there, and Black Moon Lilith in Libra, opposing each other, nobody is benefiting from these divisions and splits. They serve no one. Neither side in any polarity is benefiting from the divisions. What we want is things to be brought back together. And I think Neptune plays a big role here, because when we get to January 25, the lunar nodes will change from Aries Libra to Virgo Pisces, and Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. But it won't surprise you to know that Mercury rules two signs, not one. It has a dual rulership. So as well as ruling Gemini, it also rules Virgo. Virgo will be on the south node, and Pisces, the more holistic whole, on the north node. And that's going to be our direction of travel. At the south node, Virgo is the need to let go of discrimination, to let go of the sifting and the dividing and the categorizing, and move into the holistic view. In many ways, what this is all about in a nutshell is taking what some have called the longest and hardest of journeys, which is from the head to the heart, to reintegrate our minds into a much bigger, much more creative, much more exciting whole. We're so in this together, aren't we? But I see it as a voyage of discovery, if you like. Yes, awakenings. Perhaps there'll be lots and lots of small awakenings and epiphanies, or perhaps heartfelt moments when we're able to reintegrate and heal these splits. How wonderful that a prospect that is. So I want to thank you very much for joining me for this short video. I appreciate knowing that you know, we're a group here, all experiencing things at the same time. And I was very struck how true that is by the comments that I had to my very, very short little video on my throat chakra story, where you shared your stories. They added such a depth to that and reinforced this idea that we very much do travel together through these times. So, sending love to you. I hope you enjoy this full moon, and I'll be with you again soon. Bye bye.